just luck.
For the Hive Queen, the title has always been theirs.
If we were to win back-to-back this year, it would finally prove that we are really the final queens of MLBB.
Fearful takes two! Savages in this series as they walk their way to the grand finals.
They've been unbeatable from the start. Their destiny has always been etched in gold.
Takeshi, let's make this battle between two MWI at EWC champions a one to remember.
We've taken our revenge and made it to the end. All I can say to Vival is good luck and let's have a good fight.
When destiny calls, everything is on the line. Only one trophy will be lifted. Only one destiny will be fulfilled.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is show time here at the Esports World Cup. We started out with the 16 strongest teams in the world of MLBB, and now we are down to our final two. I am one of your hosts, Hollywood Rob TV, and I am joined here with the immaculately dressed Cheryl. Cheryl, how are we feeling going into grand finals?
We're feeling great. A resurgence 5 days in the making. NAVI Philippines has been sent down just in their very first match here at MWI 2026, forcing them to claw out of the brackets to be standing before us here today. Whereas on the other hand, a dynasty who has reigned for years, and right now, that throne is being tested to see. And those are the exact same people who has taken that throne from them. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the grand finals. Let's take a look at who do we have here.
Okay, now that the stage is set, it is about time to bring out our first team. Our next team is the 2024 MWI champ, the fighting pride of the Philippines, Pinas Long Malakas. Make some noise for NAVI! 2 years ago.
Okay. What about now? What about now?
They did not ask for respect. They did not ask for glory. They snatched it.
Okay.
And now that's destiny.
What about now? What about now?
Brought them back for this very moment. For NAVI, for the Philippines, and for themselves. It is time to make history once again. Will they be able to topple Mount Olympus like they did in 2024? There is only one way to find out.
What?
2024 champions, the tenacity, the grit, the dedication, the blood, sweat, and tears.
Let's go, Philippines!
And now they're here
Philippines?
show that nothing was a fluke. Back in
Navi
grand finals for a
might win,
second
but
time.
bro, I'm
And you
supporting
can hear
Philippines.
the Vitality crowd
Sorry,
making a lot
Vitality
of
might win,
noise,
but I'm supporting
at
the
the end of the
Philippines.
day, the game is played
Win or
on
lose,
the phone.
win or lose, Philippines, bro. Let's go. Can you say what? Wait, no. What does it mean first? I don't know what it means.
Our roamer.
Bang, bang,
Mirai.
sits, hooking. My predictions.
Juggler.
Okay, here is my
Catchy.
honest prediction. Okay, I believe this game might go all the way.
EXP
Like
later.
legit,
Not
it might go all the way.
Miami.
So it might be like 4-3 Navi,
Goal
4-3
lane. Rion.
Vitality. I don't know
And
who's gonna
mid
win,
lane.
but I hope the Philippines win. But if we are to be very honest, Indonesia
Now,
are very
of course, our
strong,
next
like
team,
very
our
freaking strong.
returning champions, we do have something very special. Damascus, what's going on with the people?
Guys, I am in the middle of the crowd. Of course, I had to be with the
Vitality.
beautiful club. The Vitality supporters came out in full force because it is time.
Vitality
to
is
welcome
going down,
the
bro.
opponents for Team Navi. Listen, guys, vous êtes prêts? Un peu plus fort, vous êtes prêts? It is time for Vitality! The absolute queens
Vitality.
of MLBB, the running champs, the 2025 champs, and of course still undefeated today as they won 2-0 against MIBR, 2-0 against Genji, 2-1 against Falcon, and now 3-1 against Keltec. One more step left for them to do the repeat, the back-to-back, and take the title twice. This is the battle to be the double champion, and a
Oh,
battle to make
I'm
sure
actually drinking,
they claim who will be the best, the absolute
Mirinda.
queens of
Mirinda
MLBB.
drink.
As we know that the supporters are
I'm going
always
to
the
say
loudest in the
Mirinda.
house. I have no idea if you guys can hear me, but you know what we have to do.
It's a pineapple
Parce que
drink.
c'est l'heure de le faire en français
Pineapple is
aussi. Les Vitality,
favorites,
ce sont les
so-
reines de ce jeu. Mobile Legends, elles l'ont dominé pendant des années. C'est les 5 joueuses à descendre sur ce circuit. Et pour l'instant, elles sont restées invincibles. Et pour l'instant, elles ont été absolument intouchables. Nos 5 reines qui arrivent sur la scène et qui vont chercher encore une fois
Philippines,
le
bro.
les champions en titre, Vitality.
I like the support. They're working to our pace.
The jungler of the team, the Hive Queen, Vival!
Viva.
And the roamer, the mother of tanks, Vivian! Half of the sister duo, the gold laner, Chell!
The stream voice is louder than mine. Wait. Okay. Chill.
Potentially the best EXP laner of all time, Fumi Echo!
Okay, what about now?
The sister, the mid lane queen, last year's MVP, Tini!
Is it better?
The crowd is ready right here. We can hear the
Bro,
high
can I also grow
buzzing.
my channel?
Let's hear it from the
Love from
players.
Punjab.
City.
Yeah, you
This is
can
a
grow your
rematch
channel,
that we
sure.
never
You just
asked for.
need to
2024
work hard.
Champions going up against the
Work hard.
2025 champions and in your home
If you
ground.
want
Anything you would like to say to Navi
maybe
Philippines?
a one-on-one
Let's go do
coaching
our best and have some fun
about
in the
YouTube,
game.
you can DM me on Instagram.
Let's do it, Ale.
Okay?
This moment, you hear the crowd. You guys are back
Okay,
in grand
okay,
finals,
okay.
going against who many believe to be the favorites going into this tournament, but you have beaten them before. How do you handle the pressure in a moment like this?
I think pressure is normal, that we gonna play confidently.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have officially heard from both teams. I believe it is time for our face-off. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get to it. Navi, right here. Vitality as well.
Face off.
Face to face.
OP.
Just a little bit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what it is all about. This is the highest level of play. This type of energy, the blood, sweat, and tears that they put to get into this moment. You hear the crowd. Cheryl, this is MLB.
What does that change?
MLB
Okay, Rome versus
is at a high
Rome.
level. Excuse me,
Interesting.
the aura is just so high right now.
That's absolutely right. A resurgence is already complete, and a revolution is just one win away. This
Philippines for the win, bro.
Finals. Let's head on over to the land of dawn.
Fist bump, fist bump.
After
No.
5 days of competition,
MWI.
so many heartbreaks, elation as well, we have finally reached
Are you
the
going to
pinnacle.
Paris?
It's grand finals
Sure,
time.
I'll go to Paris if you can
NAVI
fund my
versus
flights
Vitality, a rematch
to
that
Paris.
has been set in stone for the past 3 years. For one,
Come to think of it, I can
revenge,
actually go to
for
Paris.
The other, to submit themselves as the best female team Mlbb has to
Bro,
offer.
I don't
But
have
there can
that
only
much
be
money
one winner
to spend.
in this best of 7 series, and it's up to them to determine their own destiny. Do they want to be champions, or do they want to be runner-ups? Let's start breaking it down. It is Vitality versus NAVI. We've been talking about the prize pool. $500,000 on the line. $150,000 for first place. We also have the Sony MVP with $25,000. So
Bro.
much at stake. So much pressure. But we just heard in the interview, pressure is normal.
$25,000.
That mentality. They have to have that mindset.
I need to
Something
work on
set
YouTube
a
for like how
high-stakes
many years to
game.
get that
And
kind of
it feels
money?
like looking at them both up on stage, it's like they were both destined to be here at that stage.
Maybe
right
I need to
now.
work for like
It's
2
all
years.
about being comfortable when
$25,000
you're
is
uncomfortable.
a
Because in
lot
this
of
kind of
money, bro.
situation, there's
That's
a lot of things
crazy.
going on in your head. The challenge is how to pick and choose which one you really got to think, and that's why I'm looking forward to the
Where is the
matches,
match
because
taking place?
KCS as well as
This
King
match?
Salman, so
It's
far,
in Paris.
2024,
What-
that
what
was
the hell?
big talking point. The draft, they messed up. This time, we
Um,
cannot
what
allow
else?
such shenanigans.
They faced off in the
Where
middle.
are you right
They
now? I'm in
stared their
Nigeria.
opponents in
Nigeria,
the
bro.
eyes, but they are undeterred. They
Yes,
have
yes,
full
Sky Guy,
confidence in
exactly,
their
it's
ability to win.
exactly.
Vitality
Sponsor
fans
me,
on the
guys.
street
Sponsor
now.
me.
They've been going crazy.
If everyone
They've been
donates, like,
going
let's say,
insane.
let's
And
say,
the
let's
drama
calculate
has been beating to the victory of
$100
what
per
can be
person.
Vitality. For Navi fans, I say,
Like,
get
bro,
loud and support
I'll
your
be on the flight
roster,
to Paris,
because
like,
you're gonna need to be louder than the Vitality
very
squad
fast.
on the opposite side. Here we are. The
Let's
opponents,
go.
The competitors getting set up on the stage, getting ready to go through the gauntlet, and it is the
Stream
absolute
moderators.
gauntlet. LaFell, a best of 7. If it goes to the 7th map, these ladies
Can't
want to be
even buy
playing for
sweet
many
sponsor, though I
hours.
drink.
You want to talk stamina.
The
Stamina
prediction
is a
for
real thing.
EWC
Oh, yeah,
men's.
100%. Especially the mental stamina. That's why a lot of veterans.
SRG
best of 7,
might win
they
it,
really know how to
TLPs
pace
might win it,
themselves. That's
Onyx might
why
win it.
I would say in the first 3
And also
matches,
Falcons.
they
These are my
use a
4
very simple
top
to execute
teams.
draft, as
But
well as they don't
I'm
mind
supporting
going to the
Falcons.
game, like,
I'm
say,
also
20
supporting.
over minutes, just
Dude,
because
dude, I'm
they're
supporting
testing out their
Falcons
opponent's stamina,
and
especially if somehow you've been winning
TLPH
a lot
and
of
also
that game,
Onyx.
you just slowly
So,
chip away their
But
mentality.
among the 3
Vitality
teams,
has been doing this for years.
I
but
just
for
hope
Navi,
Onyx
not
can win
everyone has been
it. To
doing
be
this for
very
years.
I actually
honest,
have a fun fact. Team
I really
Vitality
want
are used to a
Kelra
best
and
of
Onyx
9.
to win.
Oh yeah, that's true.
MSC.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they played a best of 9. A best of 7 is
Legit.
something that they're definitely comfortable with. And that's why I like that you point out Navi PH here. This is really going to put them to the test. And if they want to be the best, they
Let's
have
go,
got to be the
Navi!
Gotta beat the
No
final
pressure, bro.
boss,
No
and that
freaking
is
pressure.
Vitality. We go to Flying Cloud for map number 1 to set the tone, to set the stage of our grand finals for the 2026 MWI competition here at the Esports World Cup in Paris, France.
I was
This
supposed to, like,
is going to be a battle to the death. And we
Dark
got the
horse,
Queen
dark
Slayer.
horse, dark horse,
We've
dark
got
horse,
the
dark
High
horse, dark horse,
Queen,
dark horse.
Vival versus Keshi.
Vival versus Keishi.
Dark
We've been
horse, I
talking
think
about her picks, and
I'll give
that's
it to
why it's
YG.
so important for
Yangon
them to get the
Galacticos.
side that actually favors them. Because for the past 4 or 5 days that we've been seeing them in MWI, there is a significant win
okay.
rate on red side.
I'm supposed to
I
live
honestly
stream with
kinda
some
feel
South
like part of it
Africans,
is
but I
because
don't
you
know.
want to get the early
They're not
combo as well as that
online.
potential counter pick in the very last slot. Especially because
What the
we see
hell?
Team Vitality, they have some pocket picks like that Selena. It would be very nice if you see the majority of the composition first
Bro,
before you actually
These
invest
guys are
into
not
it.
serious.
And not to mention that if you're on red side, you can go for more
Well, no need for him to
pinpoint
stress.
bans.
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
Right, you can dictate the drafts from there, you know, figure out what the enemy
No need
wants
to
to pick
stress.
first on blue side. So the red side, blue side, that's something that we have to look out for in this best of 7.
As well as not Ayanami versus Fumi Echo. Now, one of the things you all mentioned is Fumi Echo. If she's performing well, of course, the side of Vitality is
Let's
doing
go.
great. If she starts to drop the ball, well, they run into problems. And the same thing could be said for NAVI. These two Titans are about to face off.
Funnily enough, Taylor, the thing that I'm predicting here is that honestly those two, they won't fight against each other. They will actually fight the jungler. So instead of Keishi playing fair, fighting 1v1 against Vivo, I think she will ask not Ayanami to be the one fighting against Vivo. And I think it's the same counter argument. We see that the highest KD is Rain in NAVI Philippines. So I feel like Fumi Echo, her job is to avoid not Ayanami and go straight for Rain.
And that makes the picks even more important, right? Especially they're going in Flying Clouds, so they're not on the other maps that
Expanding
have
River,
the,
Broken Walls, yeah.
exactly, the additional movement speed. So with that being said, I'm looking at heroes like Esmeralda that can mobilize a lot quicker around the map.
Esmeralda.
Terizla's very difficult, like the impact is there, but movement speed
I'm
is
definitely
not
getting the
there.
Esmeralda's
So Sora might also come into play.
collector
These are
skin.
just some predictions before we get into the first draft.
For the grand finals debut
Bro,
of Rain
Esmeralda
and
has
Rio,
aura, bro.
they have made it to this point.
TR
They have played
Dark Horse. What the
phenomenally well.
frick?
But we have to admit,
Wait.
there is a
These
different
motherfuckers
level
have
of
taken this
pressure
thing.
playing in the quarters of
Where's
knockout,
Mr.?
then to semis, ultimately the grand finals. That pressure can either make you into a diamond or it can crush you under the weight of the moment.
Personally, I think Rain will be okay. Rian is the one that I'm a bit worried about because Rain is surrounded by Murray as well as Keishi. If something bad happens, they can pick her back up. But Rian, she's a solo laner. She's going to be playing weak side, meaning that not a lot of rotations going on her. So if she lose a 1v1 against Shell, I don't know how she can recover. If she can, hey, props to you. You deserve to become a champion.
And because of how aggressive Vitality has definitely played, especially with the mid rotations, if let's say Navi are in a position to say, hey, it looks like Rian is in a winning matchup, but she's actually losing it, do we have the resources or not to send them over to the gold lane? And I feel like that wastes so much time and energy, and it's a mistake that I think they cannot afford. So I do agree with Lafell on that.
It's not just Navi versus Vitality. It's also Indonesia versus the Philippines, a rivalry that runs deep.
Yeah, I think all the MLBB enjoyers and the supporters and the community know this one. For some reason, like even at MSC, M-Series, MWI, it's always been ID PH for the longest of times. Okay, I mean, Malaysia won MSC, right? So
We did well in 2024, yeah.
we remember that.
25 we went to the grand final, but either way, right now, honestly, looking at all the players' expression and faces, it does look like they're really locked in. But I see some players from the side of Vitality, like Shell, she's trying to not let the nerves get to her. So it's nice to see where we're looking at the expression of players, how they approach this grand finals very, very differently. Some are really trying to rethink about the strategy. Some
Okay,
is trying to
I'll
make
be
sure
back. I need
that
to
they're
go
relaxed enough
try and
to
get
not
something
overthink.
quickly,
I know
okay?
it's Indonesia versus Philippines again, which is a huge regional rivalry. However, Paris brings home turf for Vitality, and again, they will have the bulk of the fans out in the audience, screaming, going loud, and making the noise to potentially disrupt that of NAVI. But make no mistake about it, NAVI is locked in. Again, from that interview, pressure is normal, and they're okay with accepting it. Talked about the keys to victory. Those are going to be highly impactful going into this series, of course. I did see a yawn. I hope we're still ready to go, locked in, wide awake. To be fair, I did see some yawns, even in semifinals, and you know what? Once the game started, they were wide awake.
Hey, honestly, I've done some research. If you're yawning, it actually means that you're super locked in, that you forgot to breathe. Because your brain needs oxygen, and if you are super focused, you forget to breathe, so that you yawn, you bring that extra oxygen back to your brain.
And everybody at home just manually started breathing.
Well, now I just did.
Right? I mean, like, hey,
Now I'm breathing manually. Thank you
guys,
that.
if you guys
for
are
that.
watching, don't forget to breathe, don't forget to drink water. If we're talking about Indo as well as Philippines here, we really got to talk about the style. And this is one of the nice things about MLBB. There's not one way to win the game, right? There's multiple different ways. And I feel like, especially having the Vitality crowd here, it can be a weapon for the Vitality players, because if they get let's say, 1,000 gold ahead, the adrenaline spike that they're gonna get from the fans will increase that advantage more and more and more, and it might even discourage NAVI, where they're like, wait, are we sure we want to go for this fight? We might lose. Like, that hesitation, Eterna, can really stop a lot of plays.
I feel like not Ayanami's been in this position before.
A lot of times.
I think she's okay.
Maybe
She
that's
should
why
be
she put
okay.
her name not Ayanami.
That's
so
why.
if something goes wrong, they don't look for her.
It's because it's not Ayanami.
It's not Ayanami.
So when we think about these two rosters, one is fighting for a dynasty conversation. And I think already that conversation is very real for Vitality, given their history. But even during the content piece before we went onto the stage, I think they realized we need to win again to prove that last year wasn't a fluke. And NAVI feels the same way. But see, NAVI is out here trying to form a legacy. Both a very, very heavy term, right? Whether you want a dynasty or a legacy, a lot is at stake with this matchup.
That's why I really like that interview, right? I think it was one of the NAVI players that said, we want to win again so we can prove that it's not luck. Because they have only won one MWI so far compared to Vitality, who's picked up 2 already, on the way to their 3rd. And when it comes down to the grand scheme of things, man, Team Vitality are looking for their, what, 34th, 35th, 36th trophy? Like, we've lost count at this point as how dominant they've been for the start of the entire female MLBB tournament landscape. And NAVI obviously want a taste of that. They have a little bit, but it's not enough.
And honestly, that's why every single player, it's very important for you to have an ego, right? It's very important for you to feel like you're the very best, because the harsh reality is, no matter how many times you win, people will always doubt you for some reason, right? Even if you win 30, 35, 40 championships, people will be like, your opponents were easy. So you have to prove yourself time and time and time again. That resilience is only deserved for champions.
You're only as good as your last victory. And MWI is the #1 stage when it comes to our female players for MLBB. You can win tournaments previous to this, and it is an accomplishment, and we should celebrate that. But winning MWI is on a different level. Winning MWI puts you into legendary status. And if you lose out on that, you will be living in regret until your next opportunity to try to once again get a championship.
The most prestigious trophy is what you guys just looked on at your screen there. And mentality, we've been talking about it. We've been talking about every single thing that matters here in this grand finals. And it's also important to note that Team Vitality have been up against their male counterparts.
Yeah.
They played in MDL ID, and they were up against really great players at that. So Cassius has been tested. We're talking about the coach here.
Yep.
Every single player on Team Vitality have been tested. And if NAVI can look for a win, an opening, a window from Team Vitality, I feel like that's a bigger statement than compared to if NAVI lose this one to Vitality.
I like that you bring up the MDL, because we got to talk about the system there. You know, Global Band, they used to use a lot of different heroes. So that also could be something that maybe NAVI can't prepare for. They know some of the habits of the players, but maybe they just have different picks that you really just can't anticipate, which can be good, can be bad. We see what happened in 24. They tried to get too creative. It didn't work out. So for this one, I think just keep it simple. Give Vival an assassin, give Fumieko someone that can go to the back lines or set up for a kill, and then you're gonna be good. The rest, just look at the matchups. And something that we also did not see, but we gotta talk about, is that key, right? Because yes, getting the trophy is amazing, but what if you have to watch your key get crushed? Not only did you lose, not only are you the first loser,
That's right.
your key is gonna get crushed. That's gonna be heartbreaking.
Which it is. It is truly heartbreaking. I always say it, sometimes it's better to lose very early on versus losing at the very last opportunity and having that key crushed. When you knew just moments ago you were protecting it, it was in your hands. That is absolutely brutal. And let's not forget, you can use up to 3 crushed keys for your own trophy. And you better believe if NAVI wins, they're using Vitality. If Vitality wins, they will be using NAVI. That's another element that you have to also account for. EWC, it's brutal, but being a champion is tough. It's never easy.
Speaking of, I think actually if Vitality wins, they will get NAVI Falcon's ID, and Genji.
Yeah.
I feel like those are the 3 keys that they want to get. And honestly, looking at the players here, I feel like for Navi, they're looking very relaxed. I hope that's a good thing because, you know, sometimes when you're also too relaxed, just some things just escape your head.
So coach to coach, who do we think has more legacy? Well, I mean, I guess you would have to assume on the Vitality side. But who do you think is going to have the biggest impact here? Because we talk about the players so much, and rightly so, but the coaches also have a tremendous impact.
So I'll talk about King Salman. You can talk about Cassius here. King Salman, sometimes he does go for flexible picks in the first 3. In MWI, for some reason, he hasn't flexed it a lot. Like, he's one of those guys that will pick up the Akai, which you think will be jungle, but then all of a sudden will be a roam. I don't think he's going to do that here going up against Vitality. Looking at the body language, I feel like King Salman is letting them know, we're just going to do what works. I'm going to give heroes that you guys are really comfortable with, and then we're just going to play off of that. I think he's making the players play on instinct, and then he's just going to have the easiest path to victory using the Occam's Razor.
Sorry, are we getting a new map? Is that what?
Well, it feels like us.
That would change the draft.
Yeah.
We talked one coach. What about the other?
Cassius has a lot of experience under his belt. He's been playing for MPL. He switched back as well to the Women's League. And he's been around with Vitality for the past 2 years, including this one. So he definitely understands the players. He's been with them for quite a while. And the thing about Cassius is that sometimes in the first few bans, I believe, in their particular games, we do see some of the heroes being let go. Like, they don't necessarily go straight for the throat. They don't necessarily go for the respect bans, because I think for me, they want to still test drive a little bit, figure out whether or not it's imperative or not. So we'll see if that actually does happen in game number 1, or they respect Navi PH so much that they're gonna actually start the respect bans straight up.
We move into Flying Cloud. The first draft is now officially underway, and the question remains, will we see Vival on that assassin? If not, can she win with her roster, irregardless of the assassin or non-assassin pick? And already, whoa, we're going quick. Holy crap.
Very quick, very decisive as well. And it was one of the keys to victory, I believe, earlier on. BTR by Vitality. There goes the Akai pick.
Okay, so this draft is going fast. So now I'm going to talk about the synergy here. Vitality, what I like is they bat out of the box. Yeah, make sure that Keishi does not get that, one of the best heroes. And then looking at Navi, betting out the Marcel as well as the Hirara. Now we got to talk here. Vitality, they want team fight. They got the Arlet, they got the Lilia as well as the Akai. Akai, Arlet, best combination. Lilia able to beat out that tank, which they know Navi will probably get. Now let's talk about Navi here. They pick up the Eve. S tier mage, Claude, S tier gold laner, and it's good because they counter each other. Now they're on the same team. It will be amazing. Alice, good counter towards the Arlet. Also, one of the best heroes so far in MWI.
And remember how much we highlighted the mid-trio rotations coming in from Navi, if in case they want to try and pressure Vitality, especially in the early stages of the game, which is why the Yve pick here is very important to that. I wonder how they are going to help the Yve, especially now that we're going to the second phase. I want to know what kind of heroes that they're going to prioritize for their roamer in this regard.
And this is very interesting. I was thinking that King Salman won't be flexing his heroes around, but looks like Coach Cassius is thinking that he might, because he still sees the Alice, but he's considering this Alice might go in the jungle, considering that Keishi has used that yesterday. So instead, they're betting out the EXP laners. For now, Esmeralda as well as Paquito is out. Freya is still open, but looks like they're going to ban out the Phoveus just to make sure this Arlet has a very easy time. I wonder if King Salman here sees this and is like, you know what? We thought of the Alice going into the jungle, but maybe it's better to be in the EXP just to match with the Arlet. Because I got to tell you, Eternal, you got to respect Fumieko. If Fumieko is able to get out of lane for that first turtle, it's going to spell trouble for Navi.
Definitely mid-game, late game. It's going to be very difficult to control there for Navi. But obviously, there is still some room, but Glue gets picked out. It's looking like it's Alice jungle, and that's why they set up for the carry ban for Navi. Intelligent, but it looks like VTR by Vitality have a Bruno on their side and the Bellaric. They know that there's dive coming in from the Claude and the Alice and the Glue. They pick up a lane bully of their own in the Bruno. But that last pick, Freya, might just change things.
Okay, very quickly, looks like Team Vitality, they want to win the lanes as well, trying to win a team fight. A lot of crowd control, a lot of burst damage. For NAVI, they're going to play with a team, but now Ayanami is going to have a solo mission to try and kill that Lilia.
Both teams have been champions before. Both teams want to be champion again. For Vitality, it's about protecting what is theirs. For Na'Vi, it's about regaining what they lost. It's the rematch of destiny. It's grand finals for the 2026 MWI. It's Na'Vi versus Vitality. Let's get grand finals started with Mirko and Gideon.
Here looking over the land of Dawn, history is about to be made here. Both of these competitors have been looking eye to eye since 2024. 2025, they missed up their chance, but here in 2026 for the Esports World Cup's our very own MWI Grand Finals, we have Vitality facing off Na'Vi. And of course, let the games begin.
It can't get better than this. A grand finals in MWI between the champions, at least 3 of them from the same roster of 2024 and the defending champions of 2025 in the home court of Vitality.
It's going to be tough because we can already hear that extremely loud crowd here.
I can't even hear you.
It's tough, I'm not going to lie. But these fans, they're happy to see Vitality already on the big stage. But the real question is how they're going to adapt. How have they learned so far? By first blood rate comparison, 64% expectation for Na'Vi to take it away.
Which is kind of crazy because then you'd think Na'Vi are the more aggressive teams. But if you look at the games of Na'Vi, it's because they play it so slow that first bloods come around for the first neutral objective.
Let's see whether that's going to be the case. Looking at the emblem set overall, we have a lot of wilderness blessings coming out from the mid laners as well as roamers. They want to be quick across the map. But other than that, really, this Bruno on this Master Assassin making sure that Shell can bully it out and might even find a 1v1 here that's in her favor.
She didn't win the trade necessarily, but she was able to get the wave in a very, very good spot for her to continue to bully Rian on the Claude. Down below as well, some rotation from Vival, and this is what we're talking about, man. Chell, as long as she's able to build those stacks, getting those crit, Rian, every time she walks up, she's got to be careful, but there you go. The Warrior Boots instantly for Rian to deal with Chell, and it'll certainly give her a lot more to play with in this lane.
It's so good to have in the lane. They got to protect themselves as much as they can. Now first turtle is about to come through as we see at least Mirai. I think this is going to be a bit of a problem. Like, how are they going to deal with this glue? I don't necessarily see the angle to stop him other than Fumi.
At this point, it's kind of like ignoring the Patrick. Vival's just going to have to go in for the red tree. 50-50 against Keishi. Ayanami doing a good job. Zoning Fumi Echo away from this fight. That's going to be the RWM dropped down by Reynas. That's going to be Cine walking up with the glooms as well. Vivian and the rest of the team coming out as Keishi wins out the red tree battle. And now it's a big fight happening.
It's looking good. Heavy spin's even better. And now they want to get to the back, but they've already fought first blood, Vivian.
That's the first blood rate coming around. That's a slam 7 to pass out to Cine, who's going to get caught with no black shoes. Ayanami gets the double. Vival's next in the chopping block. And it's a big triple for Ayanami.
And so far, Na'Vi more than happy with the way that they want to play their cup. They want to chase down their targets, get their resources out. And unfortunately, if the engagement is just a little too good, Vitality doesn't get that chance to retaliate. Not until Vivian hits level 4.
We mentioned it. The reason the first blood rate is so high for Na'Vi is because they're so objective. Usually when you hear objective and first blood, it doesn't go hand in hand, but for Vitality, they fell right into the trap of Na'Vi, again, setting up for that 5v5 and then taking it with this Freya. I cannot mention how important, I can't mention it enough, how important this Freya is in a draft team.
It really is, and that's why I was so surprised during MWI. We didn't get to see as much priority on this Freya, on top of the fact that I guess everybody was trying to figure out the meta. Everybody was trying to figure out what was good. But let's keep in mind, the standards are there for a reason. And now we see that Vivian trying to open up this map. A lot of the motions coming in from Na'Vi needs to start leaning towards Rian's side. They want to unlock her from the lane, because so far, a bit of an EXP lead, and now RWM.
Yep, the black shoes come around for Cine to escape, so it's an ult for ult to Keishi. Seems like she wants to go for a bit more of a chase. And there you go. It's just both teams going back at it. Chell, though. Wow, starting to really dominate this laning phase against Rian.
Yeah, it's looking very, very nice here. If they can just maintain this for another 5 more minutes, it will net them some pretty good profits. Not to mention on the opposite side, let's not forget that Ayanami is currently 3-0 and wants to snowball this lead. They want to kind of get her out so she can start dominating the jungle side as well.
So well played by Rian though. Right after getting bullied, knows that she has enough with the Festival of Blood in their kit to just sustain back up, and she builds up a freeze with a rotation earlier as well from Mirai. Gold Crab though still will be monopolized by the Bruno. It will be Vitality who will look to go for the second turtle, and now it's about that pin down, right? Can you pin Keishi out? The thing is, with the Throne of Ruin, you get that CC immunity to get past the heavy spin.
Oh, wait, hold on. First, they got to deal with Ayanami, who's already been chucked down to 50%. Forced to use the ult early here. Now the contest is going to be hard.
They have to go for the fight with the timer on Valkyrie Descent already. Vivop in the back line. That's going to be pure retry. Keishi wins it out again, despite the Wrath of the Dryad already used up the Throne of Ruin. Got her into safety. Fumi Echo able to escape. Slams him in the pass as she goes to the mount on Vivo. And now Vivian is caught in the midst of it all with the Revitalize.
Oh, they're trying to hold it down. They could look to wait for the final slash. They have it, and now they get it onto Keishi.
Final slash with the Vengeance. Now Ayanami going in straight under turret, picking up the mega kill. Not enough damage for Vitality as Mirai goes in for the dive. Under turret, taking a lot of those shots and still able to get away with the pass. Meanwhile, up top is Shell going for the dive on Rian, but she gets away in time as in the bottom lane. Keishi continues the chase, cuts the wave so that they can go for tier 1 in the bottom lane.
They got to be tactical with this on all sides. In the middle of the war, what's happening in the side lane, Jail finding a slight advantage here and should be able to unlock herself and start double waving. At this point, Navi had really good ideas. Even initiating a potential dive on that bottom side could have net them even more. But for now, let's call it quits. It's still a solid 2.3k.
With the heavy spin, you guarantee the retry, but when Keishi just pops in CC immunity, both Wrath of the Dryad and heavy spin, they really got to start staggering it, maybe poking Keishi before the fight, but it's just so difficult because there's so many people to zone. It's not just Keishi, it's also not Ayanami.
Yep, I mean, let's not forget about Mirai, right? This glue is going to be frustrating, and they have no dedicated way to kind of melt down the frontline tanks. If they engage, it has to be an all-in type situation, if not a bait for some bigger spells from Navi's side. But as we see the game continue to progress, now that they've unlocked both sides at this stage, and unfortunately for Claude, they still need to get the tier 1 up top side before he's done here. Navi is putting a lot of emphasis towards this top side. 22 more seconds until the next turtle spawns.
Man, Vitality are playing a scaling game already this early on with Bruno and Lilia. Thing is, Navi scale really well into the late game too, and if they give them that big of a lead, not Ayanami capping Fumi Echo as of yet. 6 minutes in and 48 seconds. Fumi Echo with a gold crab to even things out a bit, but it's still a big 1k, so how do they even deal with just the Freya?
Look, they need to just change CC. Fumi Echo understands, hey, I'm not here to kill the Freya. All I'm here is to slow her down. I will need the rest of my team to kind of follow up to ensure this death. But with that Purify, it can be a little difficult, right? If played well and timed well, can get rid of the stacks and more importantly, the mark so that Fumi can't just dash around for free.
Vivian is going to try to go for the Wrath of the Dryad now, pops it in, but again, it's Keishi with the CC immunity. Vivian caught everywhere, all alone. Vivo's trying to peel with the back of the lines, but Vivian's just going to get shredded down by not Ayanami as the rest of the team will funnel into mid.
Oh, now Vitality, once again, they just move their way. They tried to pinch them on with Mirai as well, but Vitality made the right call. Having to back up here, not trying to interact with these fights. And even Keishi just showing up to say, hey, I just want to see what's going on in your jungle, sir.
Shell's got no damage to deal with that. Keishi can walk in the jungle, blink in, and take everything away from Vitality. Even Vivo's struggling right now against this glue. Mirai's gonna try to go for the take. Luckily for Vivo, she's still able to secure it for herself. But look at the top lane, falling as well. Now the structural advantage on top of the turtles.
Oh no.
Shell's just tickling Keishi, especially when she gets into these minion wave. Throwing a Ruin used, trying to bait them into a long fight for the cut for the rest of the team from Navi. Mirai's gonna go in with a dash now. Cyclone Eye, Vivian with the Wrath of the Dryad onto the back already as Mirai cannot go for the mount, but she actually does on their turret. That's a big mistake as Chelsea able to flicker out the safety, and Mirai's gonna go down. Now we're Cindy with the black shoes, caught in the RWM, and now the Blazing Duet.
It's all good. The backline's under attack with no RWM. They're now attacking the mid-tier 2. Fumi and the back onto Rian.
That's Fumi with the flank. Cindy able to survive. Now very low. Gonna get caught in the Void Blast as Fumi Echo looks to go for the Vengeance. Is able to go for the resets right now as Keishi tanks up a storm on their turret. It's Fumi Echo targeted down by Ayanami, and Fumi will fall. Ayanami's godlike in this game.
Shell, don't get too close here. And especially with so many people in front, Belleric is also trying to get into this fight as well to try and clear up these waves. And finally, Navi get to walk away from this fight. 20 more seconds until the first Lord spawn, but that is one hefty lead.
And it's because of the 2,000 almost gold lead between the XP. Ayanami 7-0-1. it truly isn't Ayanami. It's more like a Rihanna. It's more of a gold lane. It's more, heck, of a Rain mid lane performance from Ayanami.
It's pretty crazy, I'm not gonna lie. The fact that she's called not Ayanami makes this way funnier. It's like, no, I'm not the carry. Go look at Ryan.
Wink, wink.
Wink, wink. But now with the Lord in play, I think Vitality can't afford to make any more mistakes at this point onwards, right? Everything is gonna be permanent from this point onwards.
The thing is, they can try not to make mistakes, but Navi are going to constantly force those mistakes upon Vitality by going into the sideline, by pushing it in, and also just taking this Lord as bait for Vitality to walk out of their base. Because if you look at Vitality's composition right now, they have good clear, but that's about it.
Well, even when we're talking about clear, right, it doesn't come at, well, maybe Shell has got probably the easiest way to clear these waves. However, it's not AoE, and it's not exactly the fastest, especially once we get into the 20-minute zone. Ideally, we do get there for the sake of Shell, but at the same time, I don't think Navi is going to allow that to happen. They're going to start sieging, and I have a sneaking suspicion that Mirai might just flicker in underneath inhibitors.
At least the Vitality fans haven't lost hope. It's game 1 out of a best of 7, and they need to also conserve some of that energy, unless the French are just built different, man, because God, their energy is oozing the back to stage as well.
Dude, the Vitality fans have been all around here at EWC, whether our stage or other stages, they are audible no matter where you go. And for now, Navi really taking the time to deny resources, but I love the chump check that Navi is doing. It's like, if you really want to engage, try us while we still have this 5k lead. We will stat check you every single time. As long as you don't kill not Ayanami, we can make it work.
They're defending the tier 1 in the mid lane really well. The Holy Shield down below has already been taken out, and that's a Melfic gun for Chell. Rian finally completing that 3-item power spike, the Swift Trinity. 11 minutes in. It's all about the dive. Back through descent. Coming down right now as Vivian's able to pop in rapid with Ryan, and the CC immunity is already used up with a throw and a ruin. Now Vivo tries to cut them back. Mariah's going to be caught in return. Cine walks up as well, but Vivo's going to get cut down by Nada Ayanami, and now it's Rain in the midst of it all, taking the damage from Cine with the black shoes as Keiichi sticks onto her.
It's too good, it's too good, and now, whoa, Keiichi underneath, but manages to still get out. Fumi just needed to wait half a second there, but honestly, this is exactly what we wanted. We saw Mirai go for that flicker, we saw Keiichi make the attempt, but they still have yet to break the mid-tier 1.
They're too tanky. Mirai is just tanking these turrets like it's nothing. Vitality were able to keep their base turrets from getting taken out, but that was only just the first Lord, and they dealt that much damage. They didn't lose out on anything, no shutdowns given. This is just complete domination from Navi in game 1.
Right now, Navi has Panzer tanks roaming around. You cannot cut through that armor just yet. The endless battle already complete on top of everything else. If not Ayanami, I don't know how they're going to deal with it. Even for Vival, who's trying to pin down on Ayanami, is dying midway through.
And we can see why. Not Ayanami has picked up an endless battle as well. Rain already has a Divine Glaive. This is the reason why Vivian, Viva, on paper, crazy front lines that can take a beating and a half. Not against this composition with this much of a lead right now.
It's just too much to handle. 6.1k, but it feels like it's all